Hi and welcome to episode 9 of Ricoh GR101, and in this episode we will be looking at snap focus. Now that's one of the big selling points of this camera, that you can program the camera to focus to a fixed distance and stay there, and then you're free to just shoot. And it's very popular in street photography because there's nothing faster than firing off a point and shoot camera that doesn't have to focus. So there are a couple of ways to do it and a couple of things that you can change. And we'll look at the menu system in just now, and then in a couple of minutes we will switch to a live demonstration of snap focus shooting. So let's just look at the camera here now. Now I made customizations to this so that I have my setup across the top here, and depending on how I'm shooting, sometimes I will have crop mode up here, sometimes I will have my snap focal distance. Now, so I've changed this menu item. Go and see basic customizations in episode 4 if you want to see how to do that. But I've got snap focal distance set there, and the distance scale goes from 0.3 meters, which was added recently in firmware version 1.8, 1.80 for the Ricoh GR3 and 1.30 for the Ricoh GR3X. And then we have 1 meter, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and you can see there's a little yellow dot by the side of 2.5. That tells me that is the current focal distance of my setup. So we got 2.5, 3.5 meters, 5 meters, and infinity. So that's mine there. That's the one I like to use. 2.5 meters. And this, of course, is affected by your aperture. The higher aperture number, the deeper the depth of field the camera will give you, and also the distance to the subject. This camera has a feature called full press snap. Now that means in autofocus mode, which I'm in now, I'm in regular select autofocus, and you can hear the camera focusing as I turn it, and the green light indicates it's achieved focus on something. Now that's autofocus, and I can just keep shooting in autofocus as much as I like. But full press snap, when that is switched on in the menu, that means that I can bypass that hard press and just bang that button down, and it will immediately take a shot at the preset focal distance of 2.5 meters. In other words, it will take a snap focus shot like this. There you go. And it's just snapping away. Now, it's a good idea when you're using snap focus to keep your camera pointed up in the direction you're going to be shooting, because although the camera will not have to focus, it's at that focal distance, especially when you're using snap focus in general. Remember, I'm using autofocus at the moment. So if I go and autofocus on something nearby there, and then go to snap focus, it will have to change that 2.5 meters to start with. And it changed, and then it took a picture. Now it won't have to do it again because it's not going to autofocus, and it's not going to have to move the lens elements around to get to that 2.5 meters. So now it will be quicker. But there is a focus mode. So if I go in the menu here again and select the focus menu here, I'm on select AF, but I can go down to here where it says just snap. Now it's going to ignore autofocus completely when I select that. And now it's just going to take shots all the time at 2.5 meters focal plane. So you can hear it is much quicker now. It doesn't have to move the lens at all. It just keeps shooting at that distance. Okay. The next option is on the movie button that I customized over here. Give that a quick press, and I have my touch autofocus. and I can select different focus systems here. If I use this fourth item, which is full press snap, that is the same as banging that button down and actuating a full press snap. And you can do this when you're in snap focus mode, or if you're in autofocus mode. As long as that is selected, it will perform a full press snap. But it's a little more gentle, because all you have to do is just touch the camera on the screen with the slightest feather-like touch, and it will perform a full press snap at the distance you've set previously. So that's how you use it. And there are a couple of menu options that you can look at as well. Full press snap is on there. That switches full press snap on and off, and that means when it's attached to this button. So if I go in, you can see it's on right now on mine. If I go in and select off and then half press, now I have full press snap. Wait a minute, I'll just change my focus mode back to normal there, and if I change the mode on the back of the camera, you can see FS has now gone from the screen, so it's not going to perform a full press snap at all. But if I go back in here and select full press snap on the screen, then I won't be able to move the focus point around the screen. If you saw in the previous video on autofocus modes, I can move the focus area around the screen using the OK button, and then the rear dial change to a directional pad. But if I press the screen again, it's just gonna do a full press snap, and when I press halfway down, it performs an autofocus maneuver, finds focus, and then I can take the shot. So that's how you set it up. Let's go and take a look at it in action now, where you can see more of the screen and what I'm actually pointing the camera at. Okay, so here we have now snap focus in action. Notice just by my thumb here we have FS, that's full press snap is activated, and it says 2.5 meters there. Just put it over something dark. 2.5 meters, that's my snap focal distance. And you can see I am in autofocus select mode. If I just focus and take a shot like this, we just take a regular shot. Focus, shoot. That's using autofocus with the autofocus area select, a regular one. And now snap focus just means snapping to 2.5 meters and taking a shot straight away when I don't wait for that half press. That's the half press to get focus, release it, goes away. Now I'm just going to bang that button right down, and that was a snap focus shot. Okay, that was a full press snap. Now another way to do that is with our previous customization on the movie button here. Go to touchscreen mode and just go to that full press snap when I touch the screen. And this is my preferred way of doing it, so I can just kind of hold the camera like this, and now it doesn't matter where I touch on the screen. I'm not focusing in that particular area. I am just activating a full press snap, and I can do it with a much lighter touch than if I was banging that button down. Okay, so that's full press snap. Now on my quick menu up at the top, by pressing the adjustment dial in, go like that, I've got my snap distance there. Now I sometimes change this to crop mode if I'm using mainly autofocus. But when I'm going out doing street shooting and snapping and things like that, I've got all of my snap focal distances here, and I usually shoot at 2.5 meters and about f6.3 as I'm doing now. in normal conditions, and that will give me a much higher shutter speed when I'm not indoors in artificial lighting, but when I'm outdoors it will look pretty cool. So that is snap focus. That's how it works. That's the whole big deal about this camera, actually, because it's been specifically designed as a street shooter, and it's been that. It's been like a pro travel camera or a street shooter's camera, and it just excels in that area. So that's it.